Today I want to talk about the revelation of Jesus Christ. There's many so-called revelations or interpretations or enlightenments in the world today. There's people that say they've seen this and they've seen that and they've had this experience and that experience. There's a phrase out there that seeing is believing. And it certainly helps when a person says, yes, I have seen that. I have witnessed that event. One of the arguments against following Jesus Christ as Messiah is that he was on the earth 2,000 years ago in Israel. And many people find that 2,000 years too big a gap to say, I believe that's true. I believe that he did live on the earth and he was seen by his followers, and many people saw him, and there are records. Josephus declares that he believed there is a Jesus Christ who was on the earth and did certain things and was killed, and his followers became what's called Christians. Yes, but people today say, I haven't seen Jesus Christ. Why doesn't he come down and reveal himself now? Well, today I just want to talk about this fact that the revelation of Jesus Christ has been recorded in a book called The Revelation. It's the last book of the Bible. And its first verse says, this is the revelation of Jesus Christ, given to him by his Father to be shown to his servants. And an angel was sent to give that vision of what John saw to John. And John saw Jesus Christ. And in chapter 1, John gives a clear description of what Jesus Christ looks like. He describes his hair as white as snow. He describes his eyes as flaming fire. He describes his mouth having a sword, two-edged sword coming out. He describes his feet as bronze. He describes him having a long robe, and he describes his voice as a voice of thunder. And when John turned around to have a look clearly at Jesus Christ, he saw Jesus Christ standing in the middle of the 7 golden lampstands. And they represented the 7 churches, one church in each city of the churches of Asia Minor at that time. And Jesus Christ was seen standing in the middle of those churches. In the book of Hebrews, it is an amazing statement and says, despite what we see in the world, and despite what other images and revelations might be given to people, there's a verse that says, but we see Jesus, made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death when he died, now crowned with glory and honour. And I really like that phrase, but we see Jesus. You see, nowadays in the world there are lots of other things that people can see and so believe in. There's things like modernism, people, and postmodernism. People can see people that teach science and teach the scientific method, and the scientific method says if you can't replicate the experiment and see the proof and the evidence, then it's not true, it's not real. However, postmodernism says that's not the only proof of something being real. There are no absolutes that can be tested in science, and there are some things that are very real. One of the obvious things would be love. People experience and they feel and they can see love, but you can't put it in a test tube and have the evidence scientifically given to you. So not always is seeing believing. Then you get humanism, where the human is seen as being the centre of the world, and we see humans and we say, yes, well, that's what's real. Everything must be subjectively related to humans. And if I can evidence it, and if I can feel it and experience it, must be real for me. You get the movement relativism, but everything is relative to something else. And it's relative to what, though? If it's not relative just to another human being, what is the central source that this evidence is relative to? We get consumerism, where seeing is the way the market can portray a product. And you see it on the media, and you believe it's real, and you believe what they say about that product, and you see, and you believe, and you buy, hopefully. But that's consumerism, following our eyes of the image and the idol that we want to be able to consume. We have nowadays a movement called feminism, where it's been logically worked out that why aren't women equal to men? And why can't they be leaders like men have been? And if everything's relative, and if everything's to do with each human being and the self, then why can't females have just as much responsibility and just as much power as men have? Seems logical. But the point of view that I want to bring today is that it's what you see and whether it's real that's important. I was setting up the house today and enjoying putting ornaments around, and I had this model that has been given to me by my son, and it's a model of Jesus, and it's called Jesus the Superhero. And I was quite fascinated with this image. The important thing is, what is and who is the Jesus Christ that we see? Jesus Christ revealed himself in two specific ways, I believe. It says in the Gospel of John that the Word, which is the name for Jesus Christ, the Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us, and we behold, or we saw, his glory. And so in the first century, Jesus Christ was revealed in human flesh, and he walked amongst people, and it was recorded what he saw, what he did, what he spoke. And he revealed himself to human beings on earth. So people who say, well, wouldn't it be great if Jesus came down and revealed himself? Well, he already has. He doesn't have to do it every 100 years. He has revealed himself in flesh on this earth. He also, as I've explained, revealed himself to the Apostle John in around the year 90 AD in the revelation given. And that John saw Jesus Christ, and he described what Jesus Christ looked like. And he wrote a book, and he recorded what he saw. We need to keep our eyes on reality, not on what we perceive as being reality, because sometimes our eyes can be deceived. Not everything that we see is real. You have this experience when you use part of the media like Photoshop, that you can take a photograph and on the computer you can change parts of that photograph, and the final image is nothing like reality. It can appear to another person as being real, but it's been manipulated, it's been changed, and your eyes can be deceived, and my eyes can be deceived to thinking that that's the real image. No, it's not. It's been changed and manipulated. So the real image must be determined according to some absolute source, some central truth. And Jesus Christ has revealed himself by coming to earth, and he has revealed himself to the Apostle John, and he has revealed himself to many people. And it's possible that for you and I, he will reveal himself to us. Because as the book of Hebrews says, but we see Jesus crowned with glory and honour.